Hi, friends. Welcome back to another great episode of the Equestrian Adult Amateur. And I'm so excited for today's episode, but I did want to let you guys know that since recording this episode, tragedy has struck our good friend Aly Black's farm. So Memory Hill Stables, based in Virginia, has sadly burned down. So I want to, you guys always band together and we always lift each other up when we're down. So I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to donate. The GoFundMe is in the show notes and then also right here on the screen. If you guys please, anything, any little bit helps to get these animals and these humans back on their feet. And it's absolutely terrible, but hopefully we can get them back on their feet and really lift them up as much as we can after this terrible, terrible accident. Aly is such a light, and I know you guys are going to love this episode, and I really encourage you to donate anything that you can to help Memory Hill Stables get back and get ready for the horse show season. So thank you guys so much. This community is amazing, and you guys enjoy the show.
This is for all my new moms out there. I cannot wait to share with you and introduce Aly Black. She is a fellow mom and also an equestrian. So listen in and find out all the tips on how to being a horse mom. Aly, we're so excited to have you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So you and I met each other because I interviewed you for a project for the winter series at WEC. And so I got to hear your story and learn about what you do and who you are. And you were just your story was so great. You were so intriguing. And I just was like, you know what? I think that this is the perfect person to have on today because Alexis just had a baby, and I think I talked to you about that when we first met. So
she told me about you almost instantly after you guys talked. She called me and she was like, "You have to meet her. Like, she's a mom and she's doing it." You know, like I was so worried about giving up horses after I had a baby, and she was like, "Oh, you guys have to talk."
Yeah, I was like, "You guys have to talk."
So I'm so excited to learn how to be a mom, how to ride, and for all of our listeners out there, kind of how to do it. What are the good, the bad, the ugly, and the realities of it all. So let's jump right in.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you to start with. That's so exciting.
Thank you. He's my first one. So we'll see. I'm slightly glad he's a boy. That way, like, I can, hopefully he'll want to do boy sports and I can, focus on riding some too. But
yeah.
What about you? Kind of tell us your background first of riding and then children, family life, everything.
All the things.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I have been riding since I was 5. And I'm 31 now, and my daughter is 2.5.
Nice.
And I show in the adult amateurs currently, and the camaraderie in the adult amateurs is also like second to none, right? Like, we're all rooting for each other.
Amazing. Just
yeah. And you bring a little child in, and like people even more are like, some random stranger will like walk up to you and be like, "Do you need help? Like, can I help you?
Yeah.
Can I entertain?" And you're just like blown away. I mean, I've just been absolutely blown away. And I would say, especially with my barn community where I ride at, which is Memory Hill Stables in Waynesboro, everyone there is just like absolutely incredible. So I will say, like, surrounding yourself with the best group of people who. Yeah, the good people who aren't looking at you as like, "Oh, like you're doing something else with your life. Like, how dare you?"
Yeah.
It just makes it all the world of a difference, right? Like, I've been at horse shows where I've had like childcare fall through or something, or like, for instance, one time my husband was supposed to come meet me at a horse show, and he unfortunately had something happen where he wasn't able to come. And I was like scrambling, like, what am I going to do? Like, I've already spent all the money to have my horse come here. And ended up, one of my fellow barn mates, her roommate was there with her. And so she ended up helping me, watch Chloe. And I was like so relieved, but so grateful to have so many people who are willing to step up to the plate and help you.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I am not a mom, but like hearing y'all stories is just so inspiring because I know how difficult it is without a child, and having a child and adding that to like the lifestyle is so insane. But I also feel like you guys, like, moms get such bad judgment.
Yeah.
Like, so judgy. Like, horse owners are judgy, but like you guys, like, y'all get like so judgy and like, or not get judged, not judgy.
I'm not judgy.
No. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm glad to hear that in the horse community that you guys like feel so supported, and that's such a great thing for sure. Alexis just rode for the first time.
I did. So oh God, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I rode for the first time. I was like, I asked my husband, who's been great support, but I was like, can you just watch him for like, I don't know, like 2 hours? In the barn, 2 hours is really 4. So he was like, take 4.
Yeah.
But I went to the barn and got on, and it was just like the world was just right again. And then yesterday was the first day I had no help. So husband was at work, and then my mom, who is always helping me and
Yeah.
will watch him while I go ride, wasn't available. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to take him to the barn by myself. I'm going to be totally alone. Like, what do I do? And so again, talking about that barn community, one of the girls who's in college, I was like, I will like pay you. I'll do whatever. I will buy you food. I will do whatever you want. Like, will you go get my horse and tack him up? And then that way I can just like take Baker out to the ring and get him settled and like get him comfortable. And granted, he was asleep in his stroller, but I was able to ride and I did it all. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. You feel like this badass energy.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I'm a mom and I can still ride. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
so true.
I did the same exact thing when Chloe was younger. I did the
Really?
same exact thing. Yes. I would actually time her nap.
Yes.
And like, I don't do it now because we ended up going through all the sleep training and stuff. So let me know if you need any help on the sleep front, because
Yes.
everybody needs
we'll
their
call
own
you
sleep.
back.
Yeah.
Yes, call me back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I remember pulling up to the barn and she'd be asleep in her car seat, and I had a car monitor, and I would put the monitor like in my pocket. And this is
Oh, yes.
maybe not the best thing, but I was like, what am I going to do? Because at that point I didn't have like an extra babysitter, and my husband works all the time. So I was like, I still have to ride. Like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And, I remember putting her in the stroller and on nice days and bringing her out to the ring and, letting her sit there, and she'd wave at me every time I went by. But now at 2.5, she's way too mobile for all that.
Yeah.
So enjoy that time of them being put where you can leave them.
My friends who don't have horses, but they have babies and kind of preceded me in the whole motherhood thing, have called his stage of life the potted plant stage.
Yeah.
You pot the plant and the plant stays there.
Yep.
At what age did your daughter? At what age was your daughter when you were like, okay, I'm gonna need like legit help to watch her while I'm riding?
I would say it's probably been within the last 6 months, really, that I was like, okay, like, I definitely need that extra help to be able to go ride. And the beauty about riding and being able to not give it up is I've always felt like riding was my time to just let everything go. So when I'm actively riding on my horse, I'm not thinking about the 20 million things of being a mom, of my business, of everything else, and I'm just riding. And then you get off, and then back to the real world.
Yeah.
But I feel very fortunate to have the support system that I do to be able to do it, because it is definitely like a one-ring circus. I mean, going to the horse shows it's crazy the amount of planning that like goes into it. You used to feel like your trainer could be like, hey, do you want to go to the show this weekend? And you were like, yeah. And like now your trainer could be like, hey, do you want to go to the show this weekend? And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me plan for that.
Yeah.
Definitely afraid for that, because horse shows are starting up again in Georgia here coming in March.
And Aly, you're in New Jersey?
No, Virginia.
Virginia, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's actively snowing. It's butt off right now.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
they have like, I think there's like 4 inches of snow out there right now.
I bet it's beautiful though.
Yeah, I bet it is beautiful.
How do you ride in the winter there? Do y'all have an indoor?
So we do not.
Oh, really?
No, we do not have an indoor. And I will say this winter has been like the worst
Brutal.
winter in a long time for us. So that's been kind of depressing. I've got to say that I've had to kind of find other outlets to
cabin fever.
keep me sane. Yes. But I'm supposed to go to Florida the end of March, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I actually have my babysitter who helps me is coming with me, so she's going to come with me, for the full time. And I'm so excited for that.
Is she
very,
a horse
very
person?
excited. She is.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
She
good.
is.
so nice.
Yeah, she is. Her daughters are all grown and my age, and they all used to ride. And
Oh, I love that.
she's fantastic. And when are you planning on doing your first lead line?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What, like, when can he like sit up and do all of that? I don't even know.
He's such a little potato right now. It's so funny like to see like how that's gonna change and develop. And
Yeah.
I mean I have minis, so we
Yeah,
can
I don't have
go.
anything small enough.
Yeah.
Everything I own is gigantic.
Yeah.
but-
Has Chloe done hers?
Oh yeah, Chloe did her first lead line when she was like 6 months old.
Oh,
my
my
God.
god.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
obviously she could sit up by then, so hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I held her on there. I will say, this past what was it? Probably October. The last time she did lead line that was the first time I didn't hold her on
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
But I always held her on there, and I used to look for baskets. Like I really wanted to do the cute little lead line basket.
Yeah.
But I will say that you have to find a really good pony because they're like squeaky, like when they
Yeah,
move.
Yeah.
So we have like a really, really tiny lead line saddle. So she got to even show at WEC last year in the Grand Arena.
Wow,
Nice. Look
she's
at her go.
legit. I haven't
I
even
know.
done that.
I know.
I know, me either.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I have questions for you guys
Okay.
because I feel like I could interview y'all because
Uh-oh.
I have never experienced these things before. So I want to start with Aly. Aly, like when you were pregnant, when did you ride? How long did you ride for? And everybody's opinions on this are so different. So I just want to hear like how your experience was.
Yeah, so I immediately stopped. Like when I found out, I was about 6 weeks pregnant at that time, so like
Mhm.
very soon into it. And I immediately stopped. I will say at that time I owned like a 4-year-old, and I was like, that seems
Oh, yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
On my part. And I guess for me, I only ever wanted to have one kid, and so I only planned on being pregnant once. And I was like, well, if I want to do it right, and I never wanted to be worried. And to me,
Yeah.
like, it's not the things that you think about, like, oh, the 4-year-old spooks and I fall off. It's like they can trip. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah.
So I just felt like for me, I didn't ride the entire time, and that was the longest time I have ever not ridden since I was 5 years old, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was really hard.
Yeah. Now, did
For
you
me.
have your horse in training with somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you guys were kind of going through like similar things because she had a young horse too.
He's 4 now.
Yeah, and so I can't imagine like both of you are in that position where you're watching your horse being trained and you're having people tell you about how he's doing or any
Yeah.
roadblocks or
Yeah,
issues
that
that
was
are
rough.
going on, and you can't like ride him, and you're like, well, like it doesn't seem like him. Like your natural instinct would be like, well, let me just get on and just
Yeah.
like
And
let
you
me,
can't.
and
Yeah.
you can't. And
No.
how was that for you guys?
I thought, it was hard on me. And I will say, like, riding has always been something that, again, like, I felt like was my out. And so to not have that out was really hard for me. But I will say, like, I did support, like, I would still go to the horse shows that were local and
Oh,
stuff, and
yeah.
I would show up and I clap for my friends and be supportive. And that helped me, I think, get through it. And I would come and watch my horse, be ridden and trained on and stuff too. And that helped as well to feel involved. But it was definitely rough for me not to be able to ride for that long of a time.
It's hard.
What about you?
Yeah, no, I rode smart or not. I don't know. I don't know why I did it, but I
Oh,
did.
no judgment at all. No judgment. Yeah,
I
no
rode
judgment.
through until about like 25 or 6 weeks or so, and then I actually rode the day before I delivered, just for one last hoorah. And I could do that.
I don't want to
because-
say you like rode. You just like
I-
hopped on.
No,
Oh, you like rode.
I walked,
rode.
trot, and cantered on chocolate.
What?
Like 9 months pregnant.
I thought she just
That's
like
awesome.
got on.
Well, I knew I had a scheduled C-section because he was breech, so I knew that I was going to deliver the next day, and I knew I wasn't like at risk for going into labor I didn't think. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like do it. And so I started walking, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll just trot a little bit. And then I trotted a little bit, and I was like, okay, let's just canter.
Well, maybe you were thinking like since he was breached that maybe you were just gonna
just
like
bounce him
bounce
the
him
correct way.
around and like maybe he'd flip around.
Yeah, it didn't work, but that's fine.
Damn it.
So I didn't ride much, and then I let someone walk, like literally hand walk me on my 4-year-old. I didn't want to like kind of mess with that.
Oh, that's what I was thinking maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chocolate, my older horse, and my like more seasoned adult amateur horse, I just got on, and you know, he's pretty slow. And
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, anything can happen. When I was 18 weeks, I was on my 26-year-old's old, you know, children's horse. And I was walking bareback, and I took one step out of the ring. He spooked, spun around, and I fell off, hit the ground where it was like concrete. It wasn't concrete, but like the ground was so hard. It was like concrete.
Yeah.
Ended up going to the hospital. It was like this whole thing. Ended up being
super big drama.
totally fine. I just had a bruised pelvis and like SI joint issues after that, but definitely
Other than that.
I definitely suggest, like, for all those moms out there, all those pregnant women out there, definitely do what you're comfortable with. I am the pictured reason why you say things can happen, and horses, no matter how old or how, you know, well seasoned they are, which he was, things can happen. They see things, they hear things, and they're, you know, 900 to 12,000 pound, 12,000.
No,
1,200
you never know.
pound animals. So you just have to kind of be careful and do what you're comfortable with. And so,
well, and the reality is you can get in a car accident. I mean, that doesn't mean we don't drive the entire time that we are pregnant. So, I mean,
that's true.
You know,
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. So true. And I think too, like, I mean, obviously sorry, hit my mic. I've never been pregnant, but just like watching, you know, this experience go down. I mean, I think like both y'all said, it's such a personal preference. And I really feel like, you know, it all depends on the animal too. And like, you know, what time of year it is and like all of those factors kind of like come into it. But now both of you guys are back.
We're back.
You guys are back.
I'm not as back as you are.
Yeah,
but
Ally's been back for a minute. Alexis is getting there, but I was so proud of you. You were talking about going to the horse show and like,
at least taking him. I don't know how it works. Like do I make Steven, my husband, watch him? Do I make my mom? Like, I say make, you know, ask them to help. I know there are definitely people at the barn that would be like, oh, let me hold him while you're like getting on or whatever. But I'm so anxious as a rider anyways. Like, I can't imagine. March is probably a little too soon, but just tell me a little bit about like the horse showing aspect of it. I mean, scary.
I probably have way too many videos that you can actually hear my kid like screaming in the background. So
I love it.
Probably would recommend maybe having your kid be farther away than I have been doing.
So like what, like as you're going around, like you're like, yep, that's my kid. Just like
literally,
at least
like jumping into the line, and I'm like, whose kid is that?
Oh
Mine.
my god.
At least you're not like, oh shit, that distance. You're like, is that my kid?
Yeah. You're like, oh my god. I mean, that's like a true mother right there. Like just trying to live out her horse girl dreams, and she's like cantering around, like, oh, there's
it's everyone
kid.
Out there. It's possible. You can do it.
Yeah.
I love it. You're like my inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And I know like what's been so cool is like, I mean, you guys have gone through like every mom goes through such a huge change. And I think it was interesting to see how Alexis was going to come out. Like, I was like, is she going to even like want to ride anymore? Like, is it going to be something like, okay, maybe she's like going to be super dedicated to like being a parent and going full in, and, you know, maybe she's just not even going to want to do this anymore. And so I really was so interested to see like how that turn of events was going to happen. And I mean, obviously I'm ignorant because I think like having a kid is such a far-fetched thing for me that I think you become this entirely, in my mind, you become this entirely different person, but really you don't, but you do and you don't. I guess you guys could speak to that. But but yeah, I mean, I think it's just how did you feel? How did you guys feel like coming back, like getting back into your normal, normal like life that you had like pre-child?
I mean, for me, I really made it a goal to keep riding be a part of my life
Yeah,
because it is such a big part of my life. And maybe I put too much happiness into it. I don't know, but
never.
I love it so much. And, if Chloe rides one day, that's great. If Chloe doesn't ride, that's fine too. Like,
Yeah,
I at this point, she obviously does what if
yeah,
we're going to go horse
Yeah.
show, and she's like, okay. But
yeah,
if any day she comes to me and says, hey, mom, I don't want to do this, like, totally fine.
yeah.
I will say though, for me, and one thing that I've been preaching a lot to people who I've met who are new to getting back into riding is just give yourself a minute. I will say, Chloe's 2.5 now, or will be 2.5 at the end of March. I am just now feeling back to myself. Like,
Yeah.
I would say I am just now 100% back to being Aly Black, the horse, the horse rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had days where, I would get on and I wouldn't even see I could not see a distance to save my life. And I was like sobbing and crying, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. And my trainers would like make a tiny little X, and they'd be like, just jump it, like it's fine, like it doesn't matter what distance you get to this, just jump it. And like there were moments where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like I'm scared because now what if I get hurt because I have a kid, right?
Right.
Like I have somebody who's relying on me, and that kind of worried me. But I feel like I've finally gotten past that piece of it. And like, again, I equate it back to, I mean, I still drive a car. I still, do all these other things that if it's my, if something's going to happen,
Right.
unfortunately, that's sort of life.
Right.
And I have finally kind of been able to put that out of my mind. But I genuinely, it took me 2 years to feel like myself again.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that that was going to happen. I thought like I was going to get back on and,
Instant.
that'd be
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that was not the case. And I had to have an emergency C-section.
Oh gosh.
And so, yeah, and obviously you know how that is.
Yeah.
So, I think, and I rode like 2 weeks
Oh my God.
postpartum.
You're amazing.
Wow.
I was
And my
all-
doctor, I hadn't even gone to like my checkup appointment. And like I
Yeah.
go to my checkup appointment at like whatever it was. I think it was like
6
4
weeks.
weeks or
Oh,
something. Yeah,
yeah.
6 weeks. I don't even remember. And she was like, so how are things? And I was like, I'm riding. And she was like, what? So like maybe don't recommend that.
Yeah.
Um
I'm
but
proud of you though. I didn't make it to my appointment either. Let's be honest. I
Yeah,
definitely got
yeah.
on anyways. I was like, I feel
Yeah.
fine. I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the anxiety of like, horse showing and stuff is definitely heightened when you have a little one. But
Mhm.
it becomes your new normal, right? Like
Yeah.
once you do it a couple times, you're like, oh, well, this is just how it is now. Like,
Yeah.
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 And sometimes I will say it's good to make like plan A and plan B, and sometimes a plan C,
That's good to
because
know.
obviously that little one is dependent on someone taking care of them.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and stuff happens. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I'm just early, very, very beginning of this kind of new phase of my life. And like this weekend was beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, like if I didn't have a baby, I'd be riding right now. Like the weather's amazing. But like there's a part of me that's still like, okay, my responsibility is to this human who eats every 3 hours. And, I do want to have like some time with my family. And I do feel a little bit of like mom guilt when I'm away from him. And then a little bit of like horse mom guilt. Like
Mhm.
they didn't get ridden this weekend. And I was like, oh, like I feel really guilty. Like Kelly's out there riding and I can't make it out there, but I'm learning to have grace with myself and kind
Yeah.
of know that this is not forever and that, it does take a while after pregnancy and after having a baby to kind of get back into the routine of riding and
Mhm.
kind of be a little bit more new normal, or be used to the new normal. But
Mhm.
I was just like, okay, I'm not going to get to go to the barn today, but that's okay.
Mhm.
When I do get to go, it'll just be that much more special. And
Mhm.
again, you have the barn community and I have some great riders that are riding my boys for me. So, I feel very grateful for that. And I can't wait till I'm at 2.5 years and kind of have, a schedule and can be like, okay, I can do this. And I have not even attempted to jump. That's a joke. But I did flower box the other day. So, hey.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time, it flies by though. I mean, gosh, it absolutely flies
That's
by.
what
I
everyone
can't.
says. I'm like, I don't know. The newborn phase is obviously hard. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
New-
Very hard.
All right, guys, quick break in the episode to talk to you guys about my favorite Essentia. You guys know I drink this all of the time, and they sent me this free case of water, and I just had to say a quick thank you to them and tell you a few reasons why I love it so much. So alkaline water, honestly, if you are out, and it's about to be summer sometime, and if you're out moving around, horse girls, you guys have to have this. Stay super hydrated. I'm telling you, I live by this stuff. So go do yourself a favor, go grab some Essentia, and you're not going to be sorry about it. Yeah, they seem like they're just like little.
He's such a little nugget.
Yeah, he's just like, chilling.
I love him.
Yeah, he's just the cutest.
We used to call Chloe Bean because she's so tiny. Like my daughter is she's 2.5 and she only weighs 27 pounds.
Oh
And
my
she's like,
God.
she's 2.5 feet tall maybe now at this point, but she is tiny. Like my mom is really tiny.
Yeah.
My mom is like 5'4" maybe and like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So my mom is tiny and Chloe is tiny. And so we used to call her Bean. So now we still call her Bean.
That's so cute. What percentile was she? Kind of off topic, but they're like, I'm freaking out because they're like, oh, he's only the 11th percentile. And I'm like, okay, but like I'm 5'4" and like used to be small, like
She's tiny.
You look great. You
Thank
look
you.
incredible.
Thank
So,
you.
I think Chloe was in like the 6th percentile, like no
Okay.
joke.
And
She
she's
is tiny.
totally happy and healthy. Like,
Oh,
also make
yeah.
that the new norm for moms out there. Like it is okay to not like
Mhm.
follow the percentiles and all the things and just have grace with yourself and with how you're feeding your baby and whatever way you decide to do it. And, if feeding formula or pumping breast milk or doing whatever you need to do so you can get back on your horse and kind of have that mental release. Like you're a human too, and you need to follow your own passions. You're not just a mom. You
Yep.
are you, and
Yeah.
it is okay to be you, no matter how that
Yep.
works.
Yeah. Is he making
Yep.
noise?
I don't know. Don't judge.
Yeah, he's over there sleeping on the ground, so she's gonna go check on him.
So cute. Gosh, I'm like, I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah, he's just so tiny and so precious. It's just, but my nephew is 15 months, and that's such a, like when they're up and mobile and like moving around, it's just like, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And
No.
yeah, it's just such a different, and yeah, every day is a little bit different. Are you bringing him on?
Okay,
I know.
Dan.
Oh, she's putting him in the car seat.
Yeah, it's so cute. Like the horse that I ride, his name is Darby.
Yeah.
And so when my babysitter will come over and I'll go ride, she'll be like, "You going to ride Darby?" Like she uses like full sentences now, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy."
It's weird when you can like actually start communicating with them. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is
Mind blowing.
this is definitely a crazy thing. And it's just so cool. So are you gonna, I know you said that if Chloe doesn't want to do this, then
Yeah.
you're not gonna push it, but are you guys gonna, like, I know you did the lead line, are you gonna like, just get her maybe a little pony, or like, maybe lease something? Like, what are you thinking?
Oh gosh, I mean, I did tell my husband he had until she was 5 till we had to like own something. Like I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like we don't have to like own anything for her until she's at least 5. And he was
Yeah.
like, okay, he was like, all right, deal.
Yeah.
I did buy her an itsy bitsy oh god, it's this big black saddle, and it has like a front and a back to it, so almost
Yeah.
like 2 bumpers that you put them in.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, and I bought her one of those, and I was thinking this spring when it starts getting warm again, that she might start doing some lessons. And by lessons, I just mean like, getting on and having someone tell her a couple things
Yeah.
to do is sort of, what I was thinking, because she loves it. She loves to
Oh,
ride at this
I
point.
love
Like,
that.
loves to ride. She does not want to get off at the end.
Oh my gosh, that is so,
Yeah.
that's the best. I mean, That's going to be a really fun time for you guys for sure.
Yeah.
That
We bought a unicorn horn, so we've been putting that on the pony when she does lead line.
Oh my
And
God.
everyone thinks it's like crazy. Like they're like, "Oh my God, how do we compete with a unicorn?"
Yeah, right? I mean, how do you compete with a unicorn? I mean, honestly, that is that's really cute. I love that.
Yeah, just try to make it fun. We
Oh
just try to
yeah.
always make it fun for her, and it's never something that she has to do by any means.
No.
We
No.
all know how much money this sport costs,
A
so
hundred
I
percent.
I know a lot of moms out there who at one point or another in their career have given up riding so that their kid can ride, and I
Yeah.
think that's absolutely incredible. And I haven't had to cross that bridge yet,
Yeah.
and I don't really know. Gosh, I don't really know what I would do. I think I would try to make it work at whatever level that maybe we both could do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I could give it up, man. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
He's a little.
He's spit up out of his nose. So.
Oh no. He's he's going through it. Oh my gosh. He's having some like acid reflux, like
Oh, I
poop
went through that with my
problems.
daughter too, really
Oh
bad.
really? She
Mhm.
went through it too. Yeah. Yeah, he's not pooping when he has acid reflux. That's what it's called, acid reflux? Yeah. I mean, just going through it. Oh.
Is
No,
she
you're fine.
we're going to get real deep into it. Is she does she pump or do formula based? The reason I ask is
So
because
yeah, so she has been doing both
uh-huh.
formula and pumping, and and ooh, ooh, he was sneezing. So she's been doing both, and the formula seems to help his tummy a little bit. But yeah, it's been.
So the formula that I found that helped Chloe the best. So I did pumping too, and the formula is
Mhm.
called Bobby, Bobbi,
BOBBI.
and
Okay.
yeah, and
Mhm.
she come to find out Chloe couldn't, like, when we got off of the breast milk and tried to put her on cow's milk,
Mhm.
it was not good. So we found out that she actually is lactose intolerant, and we think that that
Oh,
was the whole reason the entire time that she was having problems with the reflux.
interesting. So Chloe was
Yeah,
lactose intolerant, and she switched to.
she had really bad reflux when she was
Mhm.
little,
What'd
like
you do?
really bad.
Bobby?
Mhm.
I want to try Bobby, and I also heard that goat milk is better, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, the Bobby, we did the Bobby, and she did really well with that. I also used the Dr.
Browns?
Uh, what are
Dr.
the
Browns?
Dr. Yes, those bottles seem to be the best.
Yeah, I have those.
They're a pain in the butt to clean.
I know, all the green things.
Yes,
Or inserts, I guess. They have pink
yes.
bottles.
So we used that. Um, I didn't find when I did the pumping, I didn't find that, like, at one point I tried not eating dairy,
Yeah, she
and
did
I didn't.
that.
Yeah,
It doesn't make a difference.
It didn't make any difference.
I
No.
Yeah.
stopped. I've been like, God, I don't know, more than a month of no dairy, and it's not making a difference. He's still spitting up. He spits out of his nose and then loses his mind.
Yeah. Chloe did that too. And I feel it just stopped one day.
All
Like,
of a
I
sudden.
swear.
That's what they say. They're like, I don't know, like 3 months, 6 months, whatever. Like one day it just stops. Like they get the
Yep.
musculature to stop doing that. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So.
And I was like, you're lying to me.
Yeah. So you switched seamlessly to Bobby and without issue. Okay. Because
Yeah.
right now we're on like the super expensive Alimentum.
Yeah.
Is what like the doctor told me to try, and it's $62
Yeah.
a can, which like, okay, I know I pay for horses, like whatever, but also
Yeah.
like if it's not working, then why?
Yeah, then why pay for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also found too that making sure that everything was warm, like I had a portable heater So if I like pumped or whatever, I could then go heat up that seemed to help her a little bit.
Yeah.
Making sure it was warm. And then when we switched, when she was done with formula and breast milk. So I did breast milk up until I think she was 10 months old. And then all of a sudden one day my supply was like done. Like, swear to God, I woke up one morning and
Nothing.
that was it. So I had been,
crazy.
right. I know, it was crazy. I was at a horse show, so I don't know if I like got stressed out, like, and my body got stressed out because of that.
Interesting.
So I switched completely to the Bobby and did that. But Ripple makes this milk for once you get done with breast milk and formula and you're transitioning to cow's milk. So we do Ripple, and it actually has protein in it for them. But don't, like, if we tried doing cow's milk because we didn't quite understand what was going on with her, and it was bad. It was really bad, really bad.
Note to self, don't
you'll know like immediately. It was not good.
Oh
my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we want to hear. I was telling Alexis that you're gonna do the Derby.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Florida.
they're my favorite.
So she's doing like the big girl Derby. It's gonna be so cool. I genuinely just like might drive down there just to watch you. Like, I'm so excited. So tell us about what you're doing.
So yeah, I was supposed to just go for 2 weeks to WEC, but because the weather is not cooperating here in Virginia, I think my horse is probably going to be sent maybe end of next week. Ooh. Because we haven't been able to do that much at home, and like I don't think it's fair to like not do much and then go marathon for 2 weeks.
Right.
So he's going to go, and I think like get back in shape for probably about a week and a half, and then I was going to go down and be there from the 7th through the 24th.
So fun.
So I'll do the adults the first weekend, and then the second week I think I'm just going to do like maybe like one day of a practice division, and then do the regular Derby week, just so he can do a Derby before the big Derby, which is the following week. Yeah. And I've done the Derby on him at WEC, Ohio. Can you sneeze? Thank you. So cute.
I'm listening. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. So I've done the Derby on him twice at WEC, Ohio. And it was really fun. The horse, he like would jump fire. Like you could be like, here's a flaming hoop of fire. And he'd be like,
her horse is gorgeous too.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you on wherever you are, Instagram.
Yeah,
whatever,
all the things.
And definitely.
Yeah. Also, if people want to follow you, what's your handle?
Exactly. I need it.
So it's just Aly, ALY, and then _Black, BLACK. I believe is all of my handles now.
Love it. We'll put it in the show notes too.
Yeah. If you see somebody, I think my picture is lead line. And my husband, Chloe, and I doing lead line.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
And I want to just talk about really quick how you had mentioned that your husband is so supportive and how you guys have a great, team, I was going to say teamship, partnership. You know what I'm saying, but you guys are a great pair, great team together. So, I'd love for you just to kind of tell us about him and all the things.
Yeah. So when I met my husband, I used to do sales and marketing for senior living communities, which I loved. This is what my mom does, so the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Right.
But that job was very demanding, and I worked 24/7 basically. So when I got pregnant with Chloe, I basically said to Brandon, I was like, I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. And so I ended up founding my marketing company. So I do like social media and websites for small businesses now, and I'm able to work from home and, be here with Chloe. And he's been so supportive with all of that. And he never says no to me, so I have to learn to say no to myself sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
It's definitely a new one. But he's really great. He's going to fly down, I think, the last weekend to WEC and come see. I will say, just because he does work so hard, he owns his own electrical business. So he doesn't usually come to the horse shows that much. And that's okay. I know he's very supportive from afar. He'll be like, can I watch you unclip my horse?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you even know that?
You're like,
"Hey."
wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
like brownie points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no
So
kidding.
very supportive. So I will say they are out there.
Yes.
The good supportive ones are out there, and he's great.
I love that. Well, Aly, we appreciate you so much coming on
Yes.
today. I
I've
know it
learned
was
so
last
much.
minute too, but I knew that you
Yeah.
guys had to
I
connect
know.
and talk about all of the
I
things.
need to meet you in real life. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a vacay to Florida.
Yeah.
I would love that.
can
I
you
would
fly?
so love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you. That is just so exciting.
Thank you. And
Being a mom is the best.
it is. I'm learning how fun it can be, and just the instant connection was crazy. And I can't wait to horse show with him. And I want to come watch you at the Derby. It
I
sounds
know.
incredible. I can't wait for
Yeah.
you. And
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be cheering you on for sure.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was so great talking with you guys.
Of
Yeah, you
course.
too.
Of course. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, friends, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Adult Amateurs Guidebook podcast. We hope you enjoyed the discussion as always, and be sure to like and subscribe for more real and authentic conversations about the struggles and triumphs of balancing life and horses. Until next time, cheers to adulting and happy riding, friends.